Hello there, everybody. Sorry this part is going to be up kind of late, but I should have this part and the final part up because I'm actually going to do three. The last part's going to be about the games of the system and blah 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 blah. So, let's sort of begin. And I also have some Mario. I might not have any today, but I should have some Wednesday. I might not have any today mainly because these random banana parts. Plus, I don't really have any, but I should get some recorded though. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about some stuff that I sort of not missed, but sort of skipped over and like some of the menu stuff real quick. First of all, one thing I sort of forgot last time, which is sort of like an aesthetic, I guess, is the battery life. At the lowest, it's about 3, maybe a little less. But that's with everything basically on. You got the 3D on, the wireless on, all that stuff on. Highest brightness setting. Of course, with the DS games, it's longer because you don't have the 3D and stuff like that. But the longest is about 5, and of course, it's longer for DS because you don't have the 3D and stuff. I'd recommend using the 3D because that's what the system's about. Maybe turning it off when you don't need it, like on the menus in the beginning, because you don't really need it there. It looks cool, but it's not really that useful right there. But during the games and stuff like that, go ahead and have it on. Turn off the wireless when you're not using it, because you don't need the wireless on all the time. And then keep your brightness setting either the first one or the second one. The second brightness. Sorry, those would be the best ones. Because it won't be too bright, but you still have brightness. I know, like, high brightness, the games look, like, nice and crisp. The colors look great. But it's just one of those things of, it drains your battery. But hopefully Nintendo will maybe come up with a new battery in the future that's not too much money, that you can replace it and stuff. I heard if your rechargeable battery dies or whatever, you can replace it with another one for, like, $10-15. It's not too bad when it comes to batteries, But to be honest, it's not really a problem for me. It's only a problem for people who are going on long trips who want to play their 3DS. I recommend bringing your charger. It doesn't necessarily mean that's going to help, but if you could find some sort of place that you could plug it in, you could get some charging done, and you could honestly play while it's charging. It's not the best bet, but it will keep the system running. That's basically about the battery. I got the Aqua Blue, which I think is really nice looking. It like transitions into 3 different shades of the blue, but to be honest, it's not really that bad, and it sounds kind of weird, but it's actually good looking. In all reality, the only part that really gets fingerprinty, I'd say, well, besides the touchscreen and the 3D screen, it's a little black outer area of the 3D screen and kind of the top, but the rest of it is actually doesn't really get that fingerprinty, or it's like barely noticeable. I'm not sure how it is on the black, but on the blue it's barely noticeable except for on the 3D. Well, except for on the screens, the little border on the 3D thing, well, around the 3D screen, and then the top. But that's really unimportant. Doesn't affect gameplay as long as you wipe your system once in a while. Be fine. So let's talk about the menu. There's a new way to sort of do it. On the top screen, you don't have to take your pictures and keep them there. I don't really think you can, which is honestly okay because I never use that. I never put pictures up there, or maybe took a picture of something that I would use as a wallpaper. I never did that. So I'm fine. It just shows like a little picture of each thing. So like the game will show that. Nintendo 3DS sound, it says that, and it shows that up there. And you could go from having one line of stuff on the touchscreen to having more. So you could have 2, 3, 4, or you could have all of them on there. I'd recommend 3 rows of stuff on the touchscreen, or 2. It's probably the best bets, just because it's not like really cluttered and it looks good. But 3 will bring like basically everything on there. 2, it doesn't, but it looks nice. 1's kind of boring. It says this. It's just it's basically the same as a DSi when you have 1, but it's just boring. To be honest, brightness settings are up there. Blah blah blah. You could still press L and R to take pictures. Might as well talk about that right now. There's some new sort of doodling stuff in the pictures. You could of course take 3D pictures now, and it still could take 2D though. You could also transport 2D pictures on your system if you want to, and whatnot. Definitely fun. I'll have to get more into it though to totally try it out. But the cameras are good. I like them, and especially if they come out with the video camera, would be nice. But the 3D camera is actually fairly nice. It could be better quality, I'll say that, but it's not too bad as long as you have pretty good brightness, like within the area that you're taking a picture. Because if it's a dark room, it's harder to see and stuff. But still, it's pretty good. Really don't know what else you could do with them. Now that I'm thinking about it. Well, there's also a nice little timer function, which I'm not really sure if that was on the old one. I don't remember. But you could also do it by voice, so you could just sort of go, hey, take a picture, or whatever the heck you want to say, and it will recognize it and, of course, take a picture. I don't think every effect, every sort of kind of picture you could take from the past is there, though. That's the one downfall, is I think that they got rid of a lot of it, but there still is some stuff and some new stuff that you could do. Sorry about that, I had to go somewhere real quick. Anyway, there's no Facebook function like I said before, but that's really unimportant. They could probably honestly implement that later. I barely use it, so it's not that big of a deal. When you just press L and R on the main menu, it's basically the same thing. It doesn't take you directly to the camera area, but it looks basically the same. Sorry, I'm like breathing heavy. It's really nice. Anyway, you could change the color of the camera menu area. It's really not that important though, but it still is a nice little thing. You could do that with the music as well. Speaking of the music, basically the same except for you play MP3s. I've figured mine out because I said before I could not get to work, and it was just because of where the folders were placed. If you go on the SD card that they give you, right on that main menu, it will be like Nintendo 3DS and some other folder. Put your music folders there, and then whatever music files in them folders, because then it will just easily appear on the 3DS Sound. Nice thing, like I said before, is that they have 10 pages of 10-second, different sounds that you can make and stuff like that, and mess around with, which is kind of nice. It's not that I'll be doing that a lot, but still, it's to have. In the old one, there was you could save your songs to top 10 favorites, whatever the heck else there was. There's a couple more. And here there's only Street Pass, Top 10, and some Practice. That's the other one. The other little folder that you can put songs into. But you can make more, I found out, which is kind of cool. Nothing that exciting though. It's a lot of the same stuff really. But still nice to have, and nice that it could be used now. It's health and safety information, but that's not important. Meme Maker, basically the same as the Wii one. A couple more features. You could also take a picture of your face and make a me like that, but yeah, it's really not too bad. Like I said before, make sure you're sort of in a bright room, because if you're not, it won't be able to recognize your face that well. Me Plaza, I'll talk a little bit more about this later because there's 2 games there. Basically, you register your own me, and then when you use the Street Pass, you could get more Mii's to come there, and you could. I'm not really sure what you do at the gate, which is one little area, but I think you could just sort of like your Mii's just sort of hang out there and do stuff. I really don't know. I'll have to test out that later. But yeah, you could sort of give your Mii some information too, so whenever they get transferred to somebody else's system, as long as you allow that, then the other person will get that info about you. It's not that personal though, don't worry. It's not like, oh, now they know where I live. No, they can't find that out. AR games and face raiders, I'll talk about that in my next video about the games. DS Download Play, that's the same, really. Nothing different. Although I think the screen looks different now than it did in the past times when you click on it, but still not unimportant. Activity log basically just is sort of like on the Wii when you click on the mail thingy, and there's like that one mail that you always get that sort of says how long you've played the games. Sort of like that, but it's a lot more detailed. It also counts your steps and stuff like that. Because when you walk, you there's like little, I forget what it's called, but when you walk, that little step thingy, it will count the steps and blah blah blah. System settings, no alarm. That's really about the only thing it's different in system settings. Everything's the same, but it is a lot nicer, I do have to say. Internet's not there yet, but it's at the top of the touchscreen. Same thing with the friend list, which gives a little card, about you and stuff like that. Game notes, which you could pause and then go there, write some notes out. It's just basically, it's not really a notebook. It's like different little sections that you could sort of write different things. I've never used it though, so I can't really test it out, And then there's notifications, which is basically like the mail thing again, just letting you know about different things. And that's basically all. There's a couple like little more details which I could probably go into, but it's really not that important. When you play it, you'll see it, really. But just test out things when you do get the system, whenever that is, if you're not, even if you have trying out friends, because there's a lot of different things, and there's going to be more in the future. That's basically all the new stuff. There's probably more that I sort of skipped over, but I will talk more in the third video about the games I got and the games on the system. See you guys then. Thanks for watching, and sorry for wasting a lot of time here. But, hope you got it. And, in the other day, well, I guess I could say that in the next one. So, never mind. Enough. See you guys next time. This is Game 28, and whatever.